What's up guys, it's Roger and welcome back to the channel. And today we have Endless Veil Trials, and I'm very excited because this build is one of my favorites to use on this map. I've spruced it up a little bit, updated it to the weapons that we currently have in this season, new mods and all that, so I'm very excited to break it down for you guys. We'll start over here on our armor and our mods. You can see I just have some targeting stuff for the helmet. On the gloves here, I have a void loader so we can reload that hand cannon a little faster. I have firepower and heavy-handed so we can spawn an orb of power from getting a powered melee final blow or from getting a grenade final blow. Grenades are going to be quite a bit of a part of this build and we'll get to that very soon. On our chest plate here, you can see I just have some extra stuff for the targeting of the shotgun and the hand cannon. A little surge mod here, stacks on stacks so we can get some extra armor charge, and then invigoration so we reduce the melee cooldown each time we pick up an orb of power. And then down here, finish off our armor, we have on 2 bomber mods. You're going to get around 20% of your grenade energy back whenever you use a rift when you have on 2 bomber mods. And then with Reaper here, we can use our rift, take somebody out, and once we take them out, then we get another orb of power. So we have 3 ways to get orbs of power with our Reaper, our heavy-handed, and our firepower mods. Now this is going to be the focal point of our weapons. It's going to be the Exalted Truth Hand Cannon. This of course is gotten from Trials of Osiris, introduced I think last season, and I love this thing quite a bit, mostly because it has this perk right here called Repulsor Brace. This says defeating a void debuff target grants an Overshield. So you take them out when they are suppressed, weakened, or volatile, and you are going to get a full void Overshield, very nice in the heat of battle. Of course I have on full bore here, accurized, and rangefinder. Of course this thing has 85 range on it, and it's not even an adept roll. So 85 range plus rangefinder, this thing has amazing range on it. You mix in the awesome perk here of Suro Synergy, so whenever we reload, we get bonus handling and reduce the incoming flinch for a few seconds, right? You can also use Alacrity as a very good origin trait here, but I personally do prefer the Suro Synergy. I did slap on a range masterwork here because obviously, you know, we're pumping that range as much as we can, and then I put on an Icarus grip, and it feels very good in midair with this thing. You can see it has 37 airborne effectiveness. I have plus 30 airborne effectiveness because I have on Astrocyte Burst, so I have 67 AE with this build, and it's pretty solid. For our special weapon, I'm going to be using the Pharactithist. This is a precision frame shotgun, one of my favorites in the entire game. We have rifled barrel, assault mag, quick draw, and opening shot. Opening shot, of course, going to give us plus 20 to our range when we have shot the first bullet there. Resets after about 6 seconds there. So we're going to have 92 range on that first shot we take. You can feel this thing absolutely maps, and I love it a lot. Quick draw, very nice, especially since we lost something like quick charge from the game. You know, I like using these quick draw shotguns nowadays, and Pharactithist is one that I highly recommend. You cannot get this in the game currently, I don't think, but hopefully they bring it back at some point because I love this shotgun quite a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and come into the Voidwalker subclass here and start breaking this down. Now there's a few things that I'm definitely going to highlight as we go through, but I'm going to break down every piece just in case you're interested. So first we have on Nova Bomb Vortex, just so we can shut down any wells, bubbles, anything like that, clutch up some rounds, and of course that goes on cooldown pretty easily, so we like to see that. We have Healing Rift, Blink of course, Pocket Singularity so we can make our enemies volatile. This of course is one way to make our enemies volatile so we can take them out with our Repulsor Brace Exalted Truth and actually proc that Repulsor Brace, okay? Next up we're going to go over here to our nade, and I have on a Suppressor nade. Now this is going to go with one of our fragments very soon, but just keep in mind this is the second way we can get a void debuff on our enemies. So we can suppress them by just knocking them with the Suppressor nade and then take them out, and we can proc our Repulsor Brace off of that. For our aspects we have on Feed the Void, so we can proc that off of any of our ability final blows, take out our enemies, get back some health, as well as restoring some grenade energy, and that will extend the Devour as well. And then we have Clarence. You can call him Child of the Old Gods if you want to, but on my channel we call him Clarence. Now this is going to send Clarence out. He can suck on our enemies, suck their cheeks, suck their toes, whatever you're into, really. That's going to give you back some grenade and melee energy if you are running that Healing Rift. As well as the fact that Clarence will weaken them, which is just another way we can get a void debuff on our enemies, and then take them out and proc our Repulsor Brace. So again, the 3 ways we can proc our Repulsor Brace are Volatile from Pocket Singularity, Suppression from our nade, or Weakening Effect from Clarence. So those are your 3 ways you're going to get those effects on your enemies. Take them out, proc your Repulsor Brace. The other way we're going to be getting void Overshields is going to come from our fragment right here, Echo of Vigilance. This is a new fragment that just came out with this current season, and it's very solid. It's the one that I always run on my builds. This says defeating a target while your shields are depleted grants you a temporary void Overshield. You do lose minus 10 recup, so keep that in mind. However, you take someone out when your shields are broken pretty easily when you're in like a shotgun fight, and you instantly get that void Overshield. So you get void Overshield from this and from proccing your Repulsor Brace. So Echo of Vigilance combined with your Repulsor Brace and combined with your Feed the Void and your Rift is going to give you so much extra sustain and shields that you are going to be able to outlive your enemies extremely easily. As for our other fragments, I'm going to actually go to the left right here and check out Echo of Domineering. This says after suppressing a target, you gain greatly increased mobility for a short duration. which is very nice. I think this is around 30 or 40 mobility, like it's a big boost. You have your equipped weapons reloaded as well, so that's kind of nice. We're going to use this mostly at the beginning of a round, so we don't have too much of a use for that, but there are a few times it comes in handy, and I'll show you that in the footage today. This has a new part to it as well, though. It says defeating suppressed targets creates a void breach, and it does give you plus 10 discipline, which is very nice. So, if we can take somebody out while they are suppressed with our hand cannon, we get repulsor base procced, so we get a Void Overshield. Then we can pick up our Void Breach. You can see on the left side of the screen, Void Breach does this for you. It's a dimensional rupture teaming with Void Energy. When picked up, Void Breaches grant you class ability energy. So not the best thing in the world, but you can get your rift back a little faster, which is very nice, of course. For our other two fragments here, I do have an Echo of Dilation. So we're crouched, we get that in-tune radar to pick apart exactly where our enemies are. We get some raw stats from that, so that's very nice. And then we have Echo of Persistence. This is going to let our Invisibility, Overshield, and Devour have increased duration. That's going to make your initial proc of your Devour go from 10 seconds to 15 seconds, but also it's going to extend the duration of our Void Overshields, which of course with Echo of Vigilance and Repulsor Brace, we're going to be getting a lot of Void Overshields with this build. So this is just something, the icing on top of the cake, to get as much time out of your Void Overshields as possible. I think I have everything covered. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comment section or join the Blinkville Discord server. I'm going to have that linked in the top right and in the description. You can make all kinds of Blink friends, Blink Warlocks, Blink Hunters. I'd love to see you in there. One last note, we do have a few spots open in the Blink Enthusiast clan, so if you do want to join that, go ahead, it's set to open. Go to your Destiny 2 mobile app or Bungie.net and you can feel free to join. I want to say at any point in this video, if you would like to leave me a like or subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that. And if you want to go that extra mile, you can check out my membership. I have two tiers, one for 99 cents and one for $5.99 to be a puffer people or a little puff. If you're interested in that, click the join button below this video or on my channel page. But if not, you just want to watch the video and enjoy, that is completely fine with me and I appreciate you either way. All that being said, I think we're ready to get into this gameplay, so let's go ahead and blink on into it. So as always, we're going to be starting with my first play of the day right here. This is the very first round that I use this build, and here is what I usually do. I blink straight ahead, right in the middle lane, right? You throw that nade down there, and you start taking shots with your primary weapon. Obviously, we have domineering procs, we have some extra movement speed, you know, extra mobility, although we're not really taking express use of that. But we're going to fly in there with a shotgun, take out the last guy. Pretty simple stuff right there. You can see the nade might get a kill. If the nade gets a kill, then you just proc your Devour. Otherwise, the enemy gets suppressed, they take a lot of damage, because you got to remember, Suppressor Nade actually does a lot of damage. Suppressor Nade can do at least 160-ish damage, especially if you have a high power level and you might find someone who has a low power level. You can see right there, it's absolutely smacked that guy. On the ground behind me there is actually a Void Breach. If you saw that, I'll point that out other times in the gameplay when they are on the ground, but you can see that's what you do. You fly down mid just like that, you take them out. You're either going to get a Void Overshield, you're going to get Devour, whatever it is, you're going to start the round off with other things that are going to enable you to be very much so aggressive for the rest of that round and just gas pedal your enemies. A lot of the way that I play this game has to do with going and taking my enemy's nutsack straight into my hands as fast as I can at the beginning of a round and ripping that sucker off. Once I have that, they are effectively castrated, right? And then I can just go get on the next two enemies and take them out as quickly as possible. So I like to get that first opening pick is the easiest way I can say it to you. Get the momentum going. A big part of playing as a solo player especially, but even if you're in a squad, is getting the momentum of the match in your favor. You need to set the tone of the match immediately. And with this kind of a build and this playstyle, you're going to be doing that. You're going to be flying in a mid just like this. There's nobody in mid at this point because it's 7 rounds in, so they kind of knew my strategy by now. So I had to kind of think, okay, what else can I do? But also, you know, you saw in chat earlier, if you saw my chat, probably, don't pause that. Well, I'm going to pull it up actually, so you'll read it in a second. But I was talking to my teammate here. We were sick of dealing with these guys. They were absolutely such losers, just like crushing immortals and stuff, sitting in the back of the map and just waiting. They wouldn't fight us. So we were actually down a few rounds. But then I started talking to my teammate in chat. You know, use team chat. If you just, you're going to find toxic people, but you can find good people too. Like this guy was really cool, and we started chatting, and we were just like, hey, let's play a little slow, let's chill. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play around Shrine area and just kind of wait for these guys because we have the Well of Radiance, you know? We didn't wait for flag, you know? We're on Shrine, and this is where flag spawns on the overtime, but now we're kind of just chilling, you know? We're typing in chat, we're saying what we're doing. I get a nice peek with my teammate, we take out one guy, I have my super now, I blink in, I throw it up at the guy over there running to the right, it sucks in the guy from the left. Honestly, my Nova Bomb Vortex, they honestly feel like they never suck people in. Oh, this is my lighthouse, by the way. I'm going to have my lighthouse and what actual role of my Astral Horizon Adept I did get at the end of this video. So if you're interested, stick to the end of the video and you can see the role I got on my Astral Horizon. But that was my lighthouse game, so I did get flawless right there. Now, I don't understand what it is with my Vortex Bombs sometimes. I feel like I throw them and they just don't do anything. But other people throw them at me and it seems like they're sucking harder than a $5 hooker. So I don't really understand what the difference is with mine and other people's, but for some reason when I threw that one there, it sucked that guy like from very far away. So when that can happen, it's very nice. There is a part of this build I didn't mention in the intro, so I want to make sure I say that to you guys right now. So this is a mod called Volatile Flow. It's on the seasonal artifact right now. When you have Volatile Flow, you can pick up an Orb of Power, which you're going to be spawning pretty frequently with a build like this. When you pick up that Orb of Power, it's going to give you volatile rounds in your Void weapons, which of course our hand cannon is. So that means you have one extra way besides your Clarence, your Suppression Nade, and your Pocket Singularity to make the enemies debuffed by Void and let you proc your Repulsor Brace. So keep that in mind if you're going to do this build. Obviously you have the 3 ways that I was talking about in the intro, but also put on Volatile Flow because it's a great perk and it will very much help you in your gameplay. Now coming towards mid here, I like to push forward sometimes. I like looking at what my enemies are using. I see like that guy just popped a healing aid. I don't really want to engage with him anymore because now he has his restoration on and I just don't want to deal with that. He hops up there, but I'm looking at my radar, see there's 2 there, so I thought if I can help my teammate take out this guy, then we could just flourish on that side of the map. Unfortunately, my teammate ate an absolute elephant's ass, so I had to kind of try to clutch this up on my own. I hit some good shots there, throw out my suppressor in to cut that guy's angle off. I kill him and proc my Repulsor Brace, flying on the next guy. He starts running away from me. I blink to the left of him thinking I could get on top of him with my shotgun, but he decides to just jump away. I pull out my hand cannon, hit a nice 3-tap, and end that round myself. So again, you gotta remember, this build is so good even when you screw up sometimes. I have a few rounds where I wanted to show you I missed some shots. My shots were a little sloppy. Maybe I missed a shotgun shot, some hand cannon shots. But this build does so well at keeping you alive that you can absolutely slay out. Even in situations like this where I was in a 1v3, what do? I throw out the nade. Both of them are suppressed now. We take out the first guy and we have Domineering to help us get on top of our enemies. I take out this guy with a hand cannon shot eventually. That's what I'm saying. I whiffed a lot of shots, but I took him out. Immediate full Void Overshield on the top of our screen right there. So I think that one came from Echo of Vigilance. Actually, yeah, I think that was Echo of Vigilance. We take out this last guy here. You can see again, though, I miss, but it's okay because right when I kill him, that one was, I believe, the Repulsor Brace. It's hard to tell. There's so much going on in that round, but you can see what I mean. This build is so good for, keeping you with full health because of Devour, keeping you with full Void Overshields because of Echo of Vigilance, and Repulsor Brace. I do want to say I'm not quite sure on the actual complete values of the Overshields when it comes to Vigilance versus Repulsor Brace, because sometimes different Void Overshields will give you different amounts of actual HP, in terms of their Overshield, and I don't actually know if the Echo of Vigilance is different than Repulsor Brace, but either way, it's giving you shields, so that's very nice. On top of the shield being very good to help you keep aggressing on your enemies once you get them, the shields are also very good to help you actually disengage from engagements. You can see right here, look at the damage from this nade, 95 and 90, so I'm telling you this thing does pretty good damage, as well as the fact that they're both suppressed. So they both had to rotate around out of this area, and that's when I started to get a little more aggressive on top of them. Hit a nice double tap there. I blinked in after him in case I could actually finish him off, but he's going to start running away. I pull out my shotgun. These guys are weakened, so I take them out very easily. Get Devour procced on that last guy, blink up, and my melee lunge just didn't want to go, but luckily the teammates followed up and cleaned up that last guy for a nice round win right there. Now, as I was saying, your Void Overshields are good for going balls to the wall. If you want to engage after you get them and keep running in, it's very good for that. However, what they're also very good for is disengaging. When you get that Void Overshield proc, either from your Repulsor Brace after winning a 1v1, or on your Echo of Vigilance once you're getting out of combat, that's going to help you get that extra bit of health you need to suck up 1 or 2 shots from your enemies and actually get to safety. You can see I went in and blinked on this guy right over him because I knew he was low enough to where I could 1-tap him to the body, and then immediately proc my Repulsor Brace because I hit him with my Pocket Singularity first. You can see on the left side of the screen there, I had my Void Overshield still. That is something I do want to mention to you guys. You will keep your Repulsor Brace procced even if you switch off the gun. So if you proc Repulsor Brace and then you switch to your shotgun and you want to go in balls to the wall, you can do that. It's not going to get rid of your Void Overshield. Look on the ground right here. This is what a Void Breach looks like. I know I was saying that earlier, but I want to show it to you guys right there. You can go back and rewind if you want to see the kind of like energy I got back immediately from picking that Void Breach up on my Rift. It's a decent amount of energy. It seemed like maybe 25 to 30% of your Rift energy back, which Rift already refreshes pretty fast. So that's, it's not nothing, but it's not like exemplary. So just keep in mind that it does help quite a bit, but it's nothing crazy. In my opinion, I don't understand why Void Breaches don't just give you energy for all of your abilities, or maybe give you energy to your ability that has the most amount of energy missing, because when it just applies to your Rift, it's still nice, but it's like, why did you make that effect? Which, by the way, this is the first time I ever procced Void Breaches, because there's like 2 ways to proc them, and the other one is off of fucking finishers. So then this one is off of like suppression, which is only happening on Warlock if you're using a suppression nade, because we have no other ways on Warlock to apply suppression to our enemies built into our kit except for that nade. So the only way to get Void Breachers as a Void Lock in PvP is to get them suppressed and then kill them. Like, I don't know why they did that. And then you get the Void Breach and it's basically useless anyways, because all it does is give you a little bit of Rift energy. And I'm just like, why do they do stuff like that? When they had like an actual pretty good idea, Void Breaches look kind of cool. I like to call them Void Ussies, because if you look at them when they're on the ground, it kind of looks like somebody took a vajager, if you know what I'm talking about. It's a medical term, calm down, Jimmy. And, you know, it just made it out of void, and that's kind of what it looks like to me. Oh, this is very funny. So, okay, right here, right? I was on another great card right here. I'm putting this in 2 times speed so you can see how long I was sitting here. I even cut some of it out. I was on a great streak right here. My card was at 6 wins right there, and that was the 4th round win. So I had just won my 4th round. If we won 1 more round, I was going to get my 2nd flawless of the day. And then that happened. The servers went down, and I'm showing you right now my passage got flawed. So like, I just want to say sincerely and utterly, this is the most sincere way I can put this. Screw you, Bungie, you disgusting piece of garbage. If the world were to end right now, and there was only enough spots on a ship to save humanity, I hope that they would let not a singular employee of Bungie onto that ship, because I genuinely don't know what kind of help they would do with humanity. That might be a little harsh. Basically though, just get it together, because it's been 2 days in a row that the servers have gone down, and when it's just a random Thursday, like, okay, whatever, it was kind of annoying, but when it's Friday, and it's happening the first few hours that trials are active, are you kidding me? They got them online pretty fast, but I'm mostly just mad because I literally lost my flawless and had my entire card ruined just because they can't keep their servers online. And it's like, come on. But anyways, you can see here coming into a 4-4 situation, one of our teammates left, so we were 2v3, so we were kind of playing a little safe. When it comes to situations like this, I gotta chill back a little bit. You know, I'm watching my radar as much as I can, I'm blinking backwards. This is a situation right there with that backwards blink, where I tell you guys, make sure you are learning these maps to the best of your ability. I knew what was right behind me was a hallway that I could blink straight through, so I wasn't worried about blinking backwards. You can see right there, we kill that guy with our Repulsor Brace, we blink in, we grab the Void Breach. See how I still have Repulsor Brace at the top of my screen right there? You can see it's still wearing off, but I believe it's 13 seconds of a Void Overshield that you get when you proc Repulsor Brace. And right there I said, Papa Roger, I am not gonna sit down and just lose this match. I don't care if we are 2v3ing. Boys, I'm going to pull it out like I pull out the Schlonger after our nice night in the club, and I'm going to win this match guaranteed. You can see another Void OC in front of us right there. Going to slide in, do some extra damage, make that guy volatile, and then luckily the teammates, hey, they actually followed up. You know, when you got actual Void on the team, the Void embodiment right here as a teammate, and I can tell you, he slapped it up pretty good. And that is a big part of this build, and a big part of my playstyle is going in and getting these initial picks, and if I can get 2 picks, 3 picks, then obviously that's really good, but I like to get at least 1 pick just like that, you know, hit some nice shots right here, and there's 2 picks. Have a Void Overshield right there because I killed that guy when I was in critical health, so we got Echo of Vigilance to proc, and we got a full Void Overshield from that. Now I will say, you get 13 seconds of a Void Overshield with your Repulsor Brace. You get around 8 seconds of a Void Overshield with your Echo of Vigilance. So just keep in mind that you get way longer duration of a Void Overshield with your Repulsor Brace. Look on the left side of the screen right now, you can see what I mean? That was starting at 13 seconds is the Repulsor Brace. This guy, yeah, he kind of gave up. I didn't even honestly know that you could die back here. He just like ran into the woods, never to be seen again, eaten by the witch from the goddamn Hansel and Gretel tale. So I'm sorry, buddy, that you had to just like throw yourself into the fire like that, but we were spanking him pretty hard. I hit him with a trombone just so you know, solidarity, not to be toxic, but for solidarity, you know. You can see this guy's flying in. I wanted to kind of just get up behind him, blink up behind him, and see if I could, you know, just take him out. proc my Devour off of that Pocket Singularity, got an Orb of Power because I killed him with my Empowered Melee, flew in onto the second guy, smacked him with a nice little flick of my shotgun, proc my Echo of Vigilance after I killed him, and got some energy from that round. And honestly, you gotta love that. Since I killed that second guy while I had my Devour procced, it gave me grenade energy back. And you can see this is the very next round. I think this is the very next round. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but that was a nice nade right there. Remember, you can skip your nades and just kind of fling it over someone's head like that. You gotta love to see that stuff. Blinking up here on the last guy, looking at my teammate took him out, but I was just ready to go, baby. One thing I will note is that you can't jump out of toilet bowl unless you have at least like 6 or 7 mobility. It's something like that. I think I was running like 4 or 5. So if you do want to actually have enough jump height to jump out of toilet bowl, nice little void you'll see in front of us right there again to clean that round up, then make sure you have enough mobility if that's something that actually matters to you. Yeah, those void OCs, I just wish they had more functionality because it actually is a really good idea. And I like when they add stuff like that. You know, they actually go back and retrofit old kits like a Void 3.0. I say old, but it's only been a few seasons, but you know what I mean. Stuff that is ready to get some new updates, and they do stuff, but then they kind of make it a little lackluster. Anyways, those are all the clips I have for you guys. You can see the Astral Horizon roll that I got here if you are interested. And while that happens, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. While we're at the end of the video here, I want to say a special thank you and a shout out to all of my puffer people and little puffs. That includes Toxies, Drops for Survival, McFun, GEXE, Ryan, The Creator, Torrential Vortex, and Cranky Panky. Thank you guys so much for the constant support. You know, going that extra mile, I really do appreciate that. Keeps the lights on, I can tell you that much. And keeps me enjoying the game a lot more when I have an actual community with me, you know, that we can all talk. Again, join the Discord server. I'm going to have that linked in the top right and the description. I'd love to see you guys in there. Love talking to you about Destiny, about how your days are going, you know, really anything. Just getting to know you guys is always really cool. And I appreciate the heck out of you. So thank you so much for watching. And I think that's going to do it for me today. If you want to see my Arc Hunter build, my Blink Hunter build that is going to be on Endless Veil Trials, I'm going to have that out to you later on today. I really appreciate you guys, and that is it for me today. So as always, have a great day, Guardians.